It's definitely a slow process. You know, you can't cut things quickly or the blade will slip. My name is Rachael Ashe. I am a paper cut artist living in Vancouver, BC, and this is my home studio. Having a studio just means like this stays here as I'm working on it. It doesn't have to go anywhere else. Inspiration is not just ever one thing, and you have to seek it out. It doesn't just, pop up. Sometimes it's going to art shows and seeing the work of other artists. Sometimes it's just, I get really inspired by looking at patterns in nature, looking at the shape of flowers, shape of leaves, things like that. I'm really inspired by textiles, textile pattern, textile process, things like that. I do a lot of hand stitching and things like that, so I find that inspires the work that I do as a paper cutter. Like sometimes the process can be very similar. You can get really inspired by the materials too. For me recently, it was buying a bunch of handmade paper. A lot of it was screen printed and colorful. This is one of them, and it was the type of paper that I previously had always ignored. I've had moments where I was just feeling really uninspired, and the only way to snap out of that is like sit down and start working on something and don't worry about whatever it is, just do the work. And using that to work with has been really inspiring and just pushing the work in new ways I didn't expect. I think when you're working with a tool like that, any sort of tool, right? Like it's how it fits in your hand and works with your hand. And it has to be comfortable, especially if you're doing a lot of work with it. It's really just whatever's the right thing for whatever I'm working on. My favorite knife is the Olfa, I think it's the Olfa art knife. And it's a beautiful little single blade X-Acto knife. I love the shape of the blade. It's nice and sturdy. It lasts for a long time. I do a lot of cutting. This blade is a nice short blade. It's just more natural to how you would use a pen or a pencil. For drawing, I love gel pens. I love metallic gel pens, or even white gel pens too. They're really lovely to draw with. And I love mechanical pencils too, rather than lead pencils. Yeah, I know, shocking. Another important thing I realized when I was learning how to paper cut was like working with an easel and working upright instead of working flat. And again, it makes the work more comfortable, and it's better for the ergonomics of my body and things like that. So my approach to actually sitting down and creating the work, cutting the work, it really depends on what type of paper cut I'm creating. The approach is dictated by the piece, I think, what works best. Very slow, methodical, meditative process. An important thing to keep in mind as I'm cutting is the more of the surface area of a piece of paper you cut away, the less surface tension it has. It can be trickier to work with the less surface tension there is, so you're always using both hands to create more surface tension. While this one's cutting, this one's holding the paper. What do you do if you cut through something you don't mean to? Is it ruined? Do you just throw it out? And the answer is of course not, because it's a lot of work. I found a way to fix when something's cut through that shouldn't be cut through, and that's just it's called a document repair tape. And usually I'm repairing that cut through, overcut, or whatever you want to call it, with that tape. You have a back to and a front to pieces, so you're doing that repair on the back and you can't see it. Working in a sketchbook, like, okay, this is for sketching, this is for playing, and working through ideas in there before moving on to a finished piece. And it was just a way to get the ideas rolling, because I was basically learning how to paper cut and figuring out what would work for me and how I wanted the work to be.
Hey YouTubers, if you enjoyed this video, let us know by clicking on the like button. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Click on the bell if you'd like to be notified next time we post a video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next page.